This is Mark Bell from SuperTraining.tv, Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West. There's Mr. Robot Pants hitting up some deadlifts. This was a max effort training session. I was just coming off a meet, so I decided to squat down into some chains. I left the chains relatively high to work on my form and my positioning. I tendency to lose my positioning at the bottom of the lift a little bit, so I wanted to really force myself into staying in the correct position the best I possibly could, going as low as I possibly could, which is not all that low, just because of mobility issues. And also, coming off the meet, I wanted to keep the weights light. Here's Kara Weston hitting up some deadlifts, working on her sumo pull. You can see there, the robot also in the sumo stance, trying to pull the shoulders high. There's Damon also doing the same thing. One thing that we've noticed was that by keeping the shoulders high and keeping the back neutral, that's the best position you can really be in for a sumo pull. Robot has a tendency to overextend and get his back too arched, and that leads to some problems with him and kind of messes up his pull sometimes. He actually kind of pulls the weights with his arms. You'll see his arms bend a little bit when he does them. Got Damon going back and forth on sumo and conventional. It's very common practice at Super Training. Do 3 reps both ways until the weights start to get heavy, then switch to a couple singles, then the weights get real heavy, and then you just completely switch over to whatever type of deadlift you're going to do for that day. So here goes Mr. Robot Pants. You see him arching up real well. But what you don't see is that his back kind of tends to get swayed. It'll sway a little bit. It'll be kind of overextended and bent. You've got to kind of try to shut that off, and it's been very difficult for him, so that's something he's been working on. Also, with increasing your size and getting bigger, it makes the deadlift more difficult as well. Here's David Butt Squish doing some squats in his briefs. David recently has lost about 20 pounds, 15 to 20 pounds, and that has affected his strength levels quite a bit. When you don't have a lot of overall body weight, when you don't weigh over 250 and you drop 10 to 15 pounds, that could be very significant. Even when you weigh as much as I do, I was all the way up, well over 300 pounds, and even when I went from 330 to 300, it was a huge change. Ryan Cove locking out a nice strong deadlift right there. Here goes Mr. Robot Pants again. See, it looks to me like he squatted down a little too much on that one. He kind of knows when he's doing the wrong thing. That's the great thing about Robot, is he knows the sensations he's supposed to feel. He's got a lot of body awareness. He's aware that he's fat. He's aware that he's red. And he's aware that he's an idiot, even though he's really smart, if that makes any sense. No, he's aware of his body. He's aware of what he's doing right and what he's doing wrong. And that's going to help him in the long run. He's going to be able to advance a lot faster than some other lifters. Damon's strength gains are going really well. I'm real happy with his progress. He's been working hard. His form has improved a lot. His sumo deadlift, his deadlifting in general, is just pretty pathetic for how strong he is on some of his other lifts, especially on how strong he is on his bench. And even his squat's coming a long way. His deadlift's kind of was the last thing to start moving, but now we're starting to see progress in that as well. There's Juan Leja trying his hand at some squats. Got David, who was messing around with some different gear on this day. This kind of stuff is actually really necessary. That's a necessary evil of geared powerlifting, is to try out different gear, have trials and errors go on, and it's kind of part of the show. It's kind of part of the whole deal. If you want to be good, if you want to be great, you're going to have some really shitty days in the gym trying out different pieces of equipment. It may not be that way for everybody, but for the majority of people, it's that way. So you got to really push the envelope and try to try out different stuff. Don't be afraid to try new things. Here I am doing the squat to the chains. Got Ryan Cove going here. He's doing a sumo deadlift against the chains. He locks that one out pretty good. And here's Damon going again, a reverse band deadlift. Here goes Juan again. Juan's also squatting down to the chains. We're trying to have him keep a real upright posture. Trying to have him keep his form. He has a tendency to round over quite a bit. And here's our favorite lifter, Mr. Matty McMatterson. And we got David going again. David just having a really tough time searching for depth. He just kind of doesn't feel the same strength, and so he tends to come up early on his lifts. And his the bottom position has suffered because of that. There's Damon locking on a great deadlift right there. Nice strong pull. Another PR for him. He's been hitting PRs kind of left and right, so that's good for him. And here's David kind of messing around with another suit, playing around with some different gear. Like I said earlier, you just have to be level-headed about this stuff, and you have to realize you're going to have your rough days, and that's just going to be the way it's going to go. That was Jim McDonald making a cameo with some deadlifting. Here's Biggie Bird almost blowing his whole face off. Almost blew his beard off on that set. Look at that. That beard's about to just explode right through the camera. Nice strong set from him. And we got Jim doing another set. And that's it from supertraining.tv. Later.